That was a quick one. Like you did that really quick.
I didn't know I could feel like that.
So I went and got my watch fixed. And I found a spot that's, they had great reviews. They were semi-close to me. It was like a 15-minute bike ride. And Kristen she broke her necklace. So I was like, oh, send me a picture. I will show the guy, see if he could get it done. So I pull up. This was yesterday morning. I pull up and the door is like closed. It's in between. It looks like a house, but like in between businesses.
Okay.
And there's a sign on the door that says call blah, blah, blah for like appointments, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So I'm like standing there and I'm like, all right, I already made it out here. So I just call and I'm like, hi, do you have availability for a quick watch repair? He goes, yeah, I'm just on the street corner. And I was like, oh, okay. Will you be back? I'm at like this address. And he's like, no. Like I work out of my van. I'm parked on the street corner. So I'm like, oh my God. Fuck. Okay. So he tells me like the street corner. I go up and on the phone, he was like, yeah, that's my old business. I was there for 40 years. They kicked me out.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. I semi-trust this guy. I don't have any red flags quite yet. And so I'm walking up to his van and I see he's like in the driver's seat and he pulls out, those like magnet signs.
Yes.
He like pulls that out and like slaps it on his van. And I'm like, fuck.
It's like a cartoon.
I'm like, I'm literally either going to get kidnapped or I'm never going to see this watch again. So I walk up and I'm like 5 feet from the van and I'm like, hi. And I have the watch in my hand. I'm like, it just lost one of those little screws. I don't know if you can like fix that quickly. And he's like, yeah, let me see it. So I like step closer and I hand him literally I hand him the watch and he like doesn't say anything. And he gets up out of his seat and like goes to the back of the van and he's back there and I'm like, fuck. He's there for probably like 3 or 4 minutes. And I finally like lean into the front window and I'm like, sir,
how's it going?
Yeah. I'm literally like, do you need anything? And he was like, oh yeah. And like kind of mumbles something. And I'm like, fuck. So I step back and I'm like head on a swivel. Like I'm looking at everything. And finally he comes back and like, he's like adjusting in his chair and he like swings the watch and it's fixed. And I'm like, oh, okay. Doesn't say any, like, he like said 2 words to me the whole time.
Oh my God. And
I'm like, oh, okay, great. Like that was so quick. And I was like, that was so easy. He's like, yeah, for me. Oh, and I'm like, okay, how much? $10.
$10 to fix it?
Yeah.
Oh, what a good guy.
Yeah. So apparently he had that shop there for 40 years. He was like, leave a review if you can. Yeah. Like, I'm working out of my van now.
Shout it out to our billions of followers.
So it's called Barty's Watch and Jewelry Repair in Crown Heights.
Word.
He's in his van. He's working out of his van on the street corner. But I'm telling you, best service I've ever had. And I was like, so my friend has this necklace and she was wondering, it's kind of broken in like a weird way. She was wondering if you would be able to fix it. And I showed him the photo and he was like looking at my phone. He's like this. He's like, oh yeah, it'll probably take like a week, but I got you. And I'm like, okay.
A week?
Yeah.
That's my only thing. It's solid gold. Like I don't want to not have it. Like I want to stand there like you did.
Yeah. Well, he said he could either like put like a thing on it, which I'm sure will take quicker. Right. It'll be like a second link.
Sure.
Or he can make it look like it is. But I trust the guy. I'm telling you.
Did he have good reviews? Like
oh my God, he had like over 500 reviews, almost 5 stars. Okay. Like that's why I was like, okay, let me walk up to this guy's van right now.
Yeah. It honestly, any other necklace, I wouldn't care. It's just, it's not even him. It's just the meaning of the necklace. Like,
and I mean, I felt the same about my watch. This is my mom's like vintage Movado watch. Like it would have been a big loss.
Big loss. Yeah. This is my one of like 3 pieces of jewelry I have from my grandma. So
yeah.
And she's dead.
Right.
So, she died back in September of 2020.
So you'd never be able to get it back.
So I'm never going to see her again.
Yeah.
Whoa, hello. My grandma.
She's crazy, girl.
Cookie butt today.
Okay. The suspense is killing me. Also, hi guys, happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
We just like started talking and didn't
Sorry.
acknowledge you guys. I just had a piece of your banana bread, and then Alex gave me a weird look while I was eating it and said something's up. She's gonna tell me on the podcast. So am I gonna start feeling things?
No. So I took out all the ingredients. I was like, ooh, I'm gonna make this banana bread. I had been ripening these bananas forever, and took out all the ingredients. But then when I was putting the ingredients back, I realized there was 2 things of flour that look like flour, and I'm like, what? So I pull them both down and I smell them. I used pancake mix.
That's why it was dense.
Yeah.
I liked it though.
It was good. So I thought it was going to come out like a giant pancake. And I actually chat GPT'd what happens if I swap flour for pancake. And it gave me like a full description of like the science behind it. So obviously pancake mix is a little sweeter. So it was... it was on the sweeter side, but I didn't tell any, like, I feel like
it wasn't crazy different.
Chocolate chip banana bread is sweet in general.
Yeah,
so
right.
It wasn't anything crazy, but the leavening. So it already has baking soda or powder in it, but I had already put baking soda in the mix.
Double.
I didn't realize until it was in the oven.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
That was my only feedback when I tasted it, was that it was a little dense, but like, banana bread's also kind of always dense, but it was like a little more, but like it was moist. It was delicious. So honestly, like run that back next. You know what? Try that next time. Excuse me.
And take out the baking soda.
Take out the baking soda and see like what it does. And that's almost a little hack with like, I have a pancake mix that's protein pancake mix, and like have like a protein.
Do that with your banana bread. Yeah.
I think you're onto something.
Maybe.
It was delicious.
It was quite the accident, but yeah, it was really good. My first banana bread. I was telling Kristen the other day, I've been like in the kitchen.
Like you should, because you're a fucking woman.
Right.
Finally.
I've been marinating things. I've been
marinated your banana.
I've been looking up recipes. Yeah. I love it.
It's so fun. It's like the best thing in the world.
You know what? It's very, and like, I'm sure you relate to this, and this probably has something to do with like, you know, why you cook, but there's something very rewarding when someone else eats your food. And that's never been the case for me. Like I've always, a big reason why I didn't really cook for myself, or I wasn't the biggest fan of it, is because I was the only one eating it.
I get that.
So now that I have a man that's walking in and I'm like, honey, dinner's on the table.
You're in a little apron.
Exactly. Yeah. Hot.
That's also like, living with you for so long, like I'd always be like, I'll cook it. Like you get why now. Like you take a bite and be like, what do you think? Be honest. Like you're right. It's rewarding for me to eat it too. Cause it's like, I look down at the plate and I'm like, this is the fruit of my labor. Like it's kind of a no brainer, but like, it's very primal almost. Like I put this all together, and imagine what it feels like to kill your food, clean it, and eat it.
Hunter gatherers.
Crazy. Yeah, with like nuts and berries in your little basket.
Right.
Imagine what that feels like.
Probably really fucking good.
I probably feel so good. We should go pick berries in like Central Park
in Brooklyn.
I don't know what's gonna happen. We're starting tripping. No, I wouldn't do that, but yeah, I love hunting and gathering.
Yeah. So I've been a little like recipe researcher recently.
Yeah, no, it's fun. And then start just like, don't even look at recipes. That's my favorite thing to do. And just like riff.
Yeah, I'm not there yet.
You will be.
I will be.
You will be. With savory,
you know what? Actually,
savory, it's easier.
That's a lie, because both of the marinades I've done I've riffed off.
Just off the cuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, baking's a little harder to riff.
Quite literally a science.
I just started doing that with like the muffins I made that I brought over here. Those were good, but like it is a little bit harder with baking. Yeah. Because it's like ratios, but fucking savory food, I'm like,
throw it in. Right.
Throw it all together and
yeah. Ula. Wait, remember our language?
You guys have a language with your best friend?
If you don't, get a new best.
Yeah, get a new best friend or create a language. It's time. Well, we're not going to tell you much about it because then you're going to know it.
Yeah.
But it's really fun. Anyway, my birthday happened. We went out. I feel like we haven't talked to you guys in a minute. Why does it feel like we went on like a break?
We pre-recorded. We recorded a little early.
Okay, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was fun. And then I suppose by the time you're listening to this, are we in Sedona? Yeah, we're still in Sedona. And it's been such a good birthday week, and I love it. I love extending my birthday as much as possible. And
I was gonna say, do you still feel like celebratory?
I do.
Good.
And last night I was with Liza. It was her birthday, so like we
festivities.
Yeah, it still felt like it, and like I like gave her gift, and then the waiter. We went to iPic and just saw a movie. But like the waiter, I guess it's a waiter at iPic, right? Yeah. I just like didn't know what to call them. I don't know why.
The butler.
Yeah. This coffee's super strong.
I was gonna say you've had like 2 sips.
No, I'm like right here.
Oh yeah. Ooh, hot coffee.
It's good.
Bodega coffee.
Yeah, it's good. Oh yeah, they were like, oh, was it your birthday? To Liza, she was like unwrapping a gift. She's like, yeah, and her birthday was the other day, and they were like, oh my god, happy birthday, and they brought us a little cake, and
Aww.
like it still feels like my birthday, and I'm just so glad because, you know, I've had birthday trips in the past, and sometimes they feel like they're still obviously incredible and like feel like a birthday, but I don't know, this time has actually felt like my birthday the whole time, not just like Sedona is just a trip after my birthday.
Right. Yeah.
Like it still feels
celebratory
about me.
Yeah. As it should.
But like, you know,
yeah.
Like that sounded so
it
awful,
is.
but like, you know what I'm trying to say?
I do. I get it. Are you hungry?
Mm-mm. I had pancake banana bread.
Well, you're going to have this little snack
of the day. Shit. She's excited about this. And we just got
Damn.
our nails done, and she said, I'm going to like it.
Well,
you said it's a good one.
Yeah. In the sense that we've never had it. So it's called It's Jerky, y'all. And it's
What's it called?
It's jerky, y'all. And it's plant-based jerky.
Oh.
But the flavor is prickly pear chipotle.
Whoa.
Yum.
This is cool. Okay. Tell me more.
The back says, there's 17 grams of protein.
Fire. Is it pea protein?
I don't know. Howdy, hungry humans. We get that you want to sink your teeth into some tender, tasty jerky right now. But guess what? You don't need a cow to satisfy that craving. It's Jerky, y'all, is made from certified non-GMO, soy, and all natural ingredients that'll have you whooping and hollering for more.
Woo! Holler!
It's from the South Texas Plains. Interesting packaging choices. Each of our flavors represent a region in Texas. This bag of jerky was inspired by the wide open South Texas Plains and handmade with care just for you.
This is cool.
I love that.
I'm excited. This is very like Sedona.
Yes.
Getting kind of deserty.
Ooh, I hope it's good.
Whoa.
They look like
chicharrones.
Poop turds. Cheers.
Looks like Vixen's
good.
cat hearts or liver hearts.
Chicken
Not
hearts.
Cat hearts. I said liver hearts.
Chicken heart.
Dude, this coffee's crazy.
Oh, it's good. Ooh, it's good.
The flavor is incredible. The texture is like a tempeh.
Yes. Yeah.
Have you had
Actually saw
tempeh
that.
bacon? Was it tempeh?
Oh, no.
Well, it tastes like it. It's good. Yeah. If I was a vegan and I was craving beef jerky, this would suppress the craving.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No.
I think it's just not going with my coffee.
Yeah. Weird.
Really weird.
Yum.
This is great. Good job. Consume within 3 days of opening.
Uh-oh.
We gotta go, guys.
I got some jerky to eat.
It's jerky, y'all. They are good at flavor. They should make sauces.
Ooh.
That'd be a good marinade.
Yeah, it would.
Also, since the last time we talked to you guys, Ariana Grande dropped Eternal Sunshine Deluxe, the Brighter Days Ink edition thingy. Literally, what's the name of the deluxe album?
Right.
Is it all those
I think it's called Brighter Days. Or
just Brighter Days.
I don't know.
I don't know. I liked it though. At first there was a few songs where I was like, and now, and I've been wanting to like talk to you about this.
Dandelion.
I like them all now.
I listened to Dandelion again and I was like, okay.
I like it.
I don't hate it.
But like the first time I heard it, Alex and I had the same opinion. The first time we heard it, it was kind of like, what is this? Like
the beat did not go with the lyrics.
The intro, the beat, like it's the trumpet, like it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And the beat was cool alone, but like something about the melody didn't click in like either of our heads at first. But now that I've like really sat and listened to it, it's so fucking good. Like all of her shit always grows on me. Even when the Eternal Sunshine, like not deluxe came out, and or even before that, when she dropped Yes and as the single, I really didn't fuck with Yes and then now like it's one of my favorites. I know every word. Like her shit just grows on you.
It really does.
You know?
It really does. Even her old shit. Like there's some old songs that in my head I'm like, it's a skipper, but then I'll listen through and I'd be like,
I'm singing every word.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So it's called Eternal Sunshine Deluxe, Brighter Days Ahead. God, that's a mouthful. Yeah, so I love them all. If I have to pick a least favorite, it would be Past Life. I still like it, but it's just my lesser favorite, which is funny because before, like when she just dropped the track list, I texted Alex and I was like, oh my God, Past Life is already going to be my favorite one. Like I don't know, something about the name obviously, but.
And didn't she have like a story behind it?
I don't know. I don't know the story behind Past Life. I just know Hampstead was like her favorite song she's ever written, and like that one was really hyped. Yeah, she said it wasn't like a definite. She was like, this is. She was like, I don't know. I think this might be my favorite song I've ever written. Like she was thinking out loud about it. But yeah, the more I listen to it, it really is. I'm trying to like land where I'm at with it because you got to finish the Brighter Days short film.
Yeah,
but I'm just gonna talk about
a spoiler.
It. Well, kinda, but like you're not gonna be like, fuck, like you ruined it.
I don't care.
You're fine. It turns into like once it comes to Hampstead in the visual, it turns into like this like Frankenstein kind of situation where her dad is putting her back together.
Oh,
and it's like her dad helping her through
her
divorce.
Oh,
because he was always made out to be like the bad guy, and her parents' divorce, and like it was kind of this roundabout message of like now she understands her dad because she's gone through it herself. And so the song like visually goes about that, but then Hampstead is where she filmed Wicked, and she had a house with Dalton, and like that's where their marriage end, so to speak. But then also a lot of the lyrics are like very much towards the fans. So this song is kind of like all over the place in that way, but it is my favorite off the deluxe. I really do love it. It's beautiful.
I was gonna say I like the melody of Hampstead the best. I love the intro, extended intro.
Oh yes, me too. That one's really good. Warm is really cute. I love them all. I love them all.
Yeah, I need to re-listen because I did only listen to like a few choppy. Like I stopped and then like skipped through. So I need to listen back. But growing on me.
For sure. And the film was really cool to see. I am liking that we're seeing more of this side of her. She's clearly very inspired from being in Wicked and being in cinema. I mean, she's always been in film like a little bit, but I feel like this is the most we're seeing out of her, where her creative side's really coming out. And like she produced a lot of this too. Like she's on there like beat bopping and booping.
Right.
Which is like so cool. I love seeing that when artists like do it all.
Yeah.
So,
especially her too. Like she is such a fucking powerhouse and so creative, and her ear is fucking crazy. Like
crazy.
Those clips where she's, oh, can we put this here? And then she's just like singing melodies. Yes. It's insane.
She stacks harmonies to where like I feel like if I was in the room, I'd be like, hey, that's kind of a lot. But then you trust her process, and her harmonies are the type of harmonies where I will listen to old songs and I'm still discovering new harmonies that she's layered. Like
and they blend so nicely that they don't
it's hard to separate them because they sound like the same it's she's really great. I'm really loving it, and I will rue the day that we get her last album ever. I hope we have a few more, but I don't know, all like the fan theories and stuff are
that this is the last one.
Not this one, that she'll have one more that's just called Ariana, the like self-titled album that everybody
Is that like
does.
A thing?
It is a thing. And then it's like for her first album being Yours Truly, last one being Ariana, it'll be like Yours Truly, Ariana.
Oh, I love that.
Super cool, but I'm like, no.
Yeah. I think
I started crying the other day when we were talking about it.
She's done it all though. Like she has given us an album for every major part of her life.
So far though, like what if she has kids? Like what's that album gonna be like?
Yeah.
Like, there's still, I don't know, she's so young still. I hope she's still inspired to write more. I mean, wasn't like Eternal Sunshine not even like a super planned thing. Like I think it was didn't she say like how she
like wrote extra songs and then
she was
ended
like,
up on its own album
out of me. Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm banking on here with any of my favorite artists. I'm like, they are an artist at heart. So even if they say they're done,
right,
I always hope, especially for them and like, you know, the love of their own craft, I hope that they still feel inspired to like create even when they say they're done creating.
And someone like her, I could see it. I could see it happening.
Or like she'll get into like producing too, like for other artists. And
I could see that actually more so
she
writing.
Would kill. She would do so well. Oh, I just love her. Take this coffee away from me. Will you put it over there?
Sure.
I'm getting hammered.
Oh my God, it's so good. What'd you put in there? Milk?
Literally just a splash of heavy cream.
Oh,
it's so good. I've been loving just like basic coffee like that.
Yeah.
Like I don't even want like espresso. I want like a pot of fucking Folgers coffee with a splash of cream.
Some deli coffee.
That's been my shit.
So good.
Okay, I want to talk about something different now. Funny intro. So we, the day after my birthday, we sat on my roof and it was so nice outside. If you were in the New York area, the 29th, like what a crazy weather day that was. It was literally like 80. And then within 20 minutes tops, 50. One gust of wind came and it went down to the 50s. It was
Did you see all the TikToks of people at the park and like the sun is actually being, you know, taken away by clouds and you see everyone get up and start folding their blankets.
Yes. it looked like apocalyptic or something. It was because it was so like we were sweating for a second when it was hot and then 2 seconds later chattering our teeth leaving my roof.
Yeah.
Anyway, while we were up there, it was me, Alex, and Liza. We were talking about closure, and I guess it started on my birthday when we were at dinner. We were kind of talking about just like what I'm leaving behind, and now that I'm 30, blah, 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 just like setting intentions for the new year. And a big thing that I feel like has helped like catapult me into 30 in the best way possible is the closure that I recently got from Tanner. And I kind of talked about it, I think, or was that Patreon? I don't really know.
I want to say
like when I got home, maybe I was talking about it.
Yeah, but it was on a Monday app.
Okay. Yeah. So it was at the Super Bowl party. Him and I spoke for hours, and it was one of those situations where like walking into it, I had zero expectations, which, okay, I do remember preaching, do not ever go into talking to an ex with any expectations for your healing or anything like that, because they disappointed you before, they'll probably do it again. So I went into it with no expectations, but I left it really realizing like how much I guess I kind of did need it. And that was hard to admit for a second, because I've always, like even before Tanner was in my fucking life, I've always preached that closure is bullshit.
We've said that so many times.
And I like to the grave, like I've always been like,
you don't need closure. It's a myth.
Right. And not saying that I'm completely on the other side of that opinion now, but I definitely now know from experience that it isn't black and white like that. I think in some situations, closure is not ideal and not the best thing to do. But in other situations like mine, wow, did I fucking need it. So yeah, today we want to kind of just go into the topic of closure, because it is something that even you guys write in a lot about. Mm-hmm. And
we always say you don't need it.
So this is a formal apology to all those times that we said you don't need it. No, honestly, I stick to those because they're, like I said, I would say majority of the time, I think it is like a bullshit kind of way to just see your ex again.
A lot of people use it as an excuse. And we'll get into this. It depends on your intention with closure. Yes. Why do you want to see them again? What kind of questions do you want answered? Yep. Do you need closure or do you want closure? Yep. We'll get into all of that, but yeah, it is about intention. And I think now our experiences are very different, whereas Kristen had a bit of closure from her past relationship, but I myself have not had. I feel like I've given myself closure from my past relationship, but I haven't had that conversation. that gives you like that aha moment after a relationship.
Yep. And in other relationships, I guess my first with Kelly, I feel like I had like closure conversations, but like kind of not. I don't know. That's different. Scott, never talked to him. But Tanner, I think it was essential because I felt like really weird that I had the last time I had seen him before we spoke on Super Bowl was when we just like were still together and he dropped me off at the airport and kissed me goodbye and like it was just like a normal day. And the fact that like we went through that awful situation over the phone across the country, like I feel like I didn't know it. Again, I didn't know any of this until looking back on the conversation we had. I needed to like see him and like feel his presence again to realize that I am no longer tied to it. Like an analogy that Alex said that was perfect is like when animals need to see that the other animal in their pack died.
Yeah.
Like it's like a part of grief.
Yeah. You needed to associate the quote unquote like bad version of him in the physical form because the last time you saw him
the
physically,
real version of him.
Yeah. Right. The last time you saw him physically, it was that like love soul tie that you guys had created over these past few years. But that was never broken because you never saw him again.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I needed to match up my visual with my mental.
Yes.
Like it was very like visual for me. I needed to like see what he looked like now and like
feel
even his hair
presence.
looked different and like our hug felt different. Like it, but like in a good way. And like I'm glad it felt different.
Yeah.
Type shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am now a believer in closure.
And timing is everything too, because for that to happen for you after you've done quite a bit of your own healing also says a lot too. I think if you would have had that physical interaction with each other 2 weeks after, or even the
I would have
same
kissed him
time,
on the mouth
exactly,
and we would have been back together.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So it says a lot that you had your time without him,
right,
to kind of piece together the situation how you wanted to, and then you saw him.
That's such a good point. Yeah, I think that goes with the intention side of it too. Like when you want to see your ex so bad right after you break up, that's from a place comfort. Of like missing, comfort, missing them. And like, that's where I'd be like, don't do it. But I mean, I went over almost a year and a half without seeing him, did my dirty work, cried my tears, did my healing without any validation or expectation from him. And then seeing him was just like, I went in there with the tools that I had, built over the past year. I went in there with the shields that I needed to protect myself. And I said what I needed to say for like my piece. That's what made it healthy closure.
Yeah. And that conversation that we had on the roof, the two of you and Liza had asked me how I viewed closure after my relationship, and being out of that relationship for 6 years. My only answer was, I don't think if I had a conversation with him, his answers, his explanations, how he felt would ever change anything. And I think if you go into closure with that, like Kristen was saying, with that expectation of, oh, this might change something for me, then it's persuasive. Like it's
already like a biased
exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. You're searching for something, and when we're looking for something from a partner, they can hand us anything and we can tweak it just a little bit to match what we want it to match.
Hell yeah.
So if you go into it, no expectations, you don't need any of these answers, none of these answers could change your opinion about what happened, then that's a good form of closure.
And that's exactly how I went into it.
Yep.
Like, you're so right. And I went into it like and again, this is situational. This isn't advice across the board, but for my situation, I went into it once I was ready to forgive him. And like, I sat across from him and like, I literally like grabbed his hand and was like, I forgive you.
Yeah. Because you had that in your heart. There was no malice. I was
ready to forgive him because I did my work on my end. So it was just it was a conversation to be like, we're good, shutting this door, peace out.
Yeah. There's something really beautiful that happened before your 30th. Like
I really like
you closed
the door.
The door, you cut the tie, and you're now able to step into this next decade with that relationship, the breakup, the healing, and the closure all in your 20s.
Yes. And like I feel that big time. And there was also some like Aries Libra transit that happened on March 29th. And it said, and I think I told you this, it said it was closing a pattern or a chapter that started on April 20th, 2023, which is literally when we made it official.
Yeah.
So the fact that it was like closing Aries Libra, and he's a Libra, I'm an Aries, like it was like so like
it was cosmic.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was meant to be. And
we were such a karmic relationship that like it just, I don't know. I always like I go back and forth with like how much I'm going to lean into astrology. Like I like to play with it, but I never let it like base everything I do.
But if it resonates on an already existing situation,
exactly, that's like, when it's so cool.
Yeah, I'm like you don't have to tweak anything to like make it apply.
To like convince yourself.
Yeah,
exactly. But no, yeah, I'm really glad I left it in my 20s too, and like I feel 100%. Honey, I'm sorry. Disconnected from it. And like, I feel like it's a slow process. And I say that because we get a lot of people that write in there that are like fucking 2 months after their breakup. They're like, why am I still tripping over them? I'm like, because it's been 48 hours. Like,
yeah.
Give it time, you guys. And it doesn't matter how long or how short you've been with the person. Like people say, oh, if you've been with them for 4 years, it takes 2 years to get over them. That's all baloney. It's not a fucking math equation. But all to say, don't judge yourself for how long it takes to get over somebody. Because the more you do that, the more you're going to fuck yourself up and judge yourself and in turn like fuck up your self-esteem. Like give yourself as much time as you need, and don't like, you're not broken or weak, or there's nothing wrong with you if it takes a while to get over a traumatic situation. And I'm really proud of myself for never being too frustrated with myself over that like 1.5 2 years that it took to really like genuinely and honestly get over Tanner.
Yeah.
And yeah, I kind of wanted to say that to you guys because I know a lot of people struggle with that, and
there's no shame in it.
There isn't. And the stigma around it to like get over your ex is quite toxic.
Yeah.
It's a pride thing, and I get it. Like I get wanting to be like, oh, like he's over here like fucking bitches and I'm still over here crying over him. It's like, yeah, because you actually feel your fucking feelings. And
he's suppressing all of them.
And they'll come back up later in life or in their next love where they just repeat the patterns. But like,
that's another thing. If you actually like buckle down and do the healing that is required after a breakup, you will notice even more so that years down the line, you won't have those same reactions or cycles that you had in the past relationship.
Totally.
Yeah,
absolutely. And yeah. I'm proud of myself.
Good. I'm proud of you.
It feels so good.
Sayonara.
But like for real
For
this
real.
time. Like I feel like I would, and that's another thing too. It's not linear, right? So like I would do really good for a couple months and then I would hit, and he'd be in my dreams every night and I'd, see signs, and he'd be back in my orbit, and then I'd feel good again and then crash. He'd text me, and now it's finally like
no effect,
but honestly, from both ends.
Oh yeah.
Right. Like even when we said bye to each other, like we were like, we can't do this.
Yeah.
Like bye. And like he walked to his car and I walked to my car. And when like he texted me happy birthday, but it was just like, he was like, he literally said something like, I wish you all the love you deserve. And I hope you have a great year. Happy birthday, K-Mac. Like it wasn't like, oh, I love you and I think about you every day. Like all his other texts had been like, I can tell on both ends. We're both like,
it probably did something for him.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're both like,
Interesting.
GG's. Talk to you later.
I would love to hear his perspective of closure after that conversation.
I know.
Because you
ask him.
Should I text him?
Hey, how do you feel? Should we call him in?
All right, Tanner.
Imagine.
Come on in.
Imagine.
Never in a million years.
No, where would he even sit? In the fire right here?
Yeah, over there.
Under the chair?
She would not like him.
Aw, she probably would.
She loves everybody. As far as like the actual conversation that you guys had, how did it go? Was it like a catch up? Did you ask questions about what had happened? What was it like?
It was a little bit of a catch up purely because like I was in the Bay because my mom was in the hospital. So like that was honestly a lot of it in the beginning. It was because like he obviously knows my mom and like it was a lot of that. Right. There was a little bit of a catch up on his end, but like I kind of just was like, okay, cool. Cause I know myself, if like I ask too much about what's going on in his life, I'll get like reinvested in it. Yeah. So that was a boundary I went in with where I was like, not that I don't care because I'm not a monster, but like,
it's not your tango anymore.
No, I like good. I'm glad you're healthy. I literally said, I was like, you look healthy. I told him I didn't like his hair and we laughed about that. And then that was the most I was willing to talk about his orbit. I didn't really have any questions as far as what happened. And again, that was another boundary for me.
That's huge.
It would have only stressed me out. It wouldn't have changed anything. Like, I don't want to know who the girl is. I didn't want to play by play of the night. I almost want like the ignorance is bliss with that because I've already relived that in my head for days on end, hours on end. So there wasn't really even a point where we talked about like the actual, like when it happened, how it happened. Something like came over me. Again, I didn't even go into this planning to do this, but it really was just a situation where I was like, you're going to listen to me. And he was cool. Like, he was like, no, like it's the mic is yours. The stage is yours. Like,
cause that's the thing. When you guys would have conversations after the fact, it was all him, like
victim.
Yes.
Yeah. He was
trying to finesse the situation every time you would bring something up.
Yes. So that was another like right away telling sign where I was like, oh, he's like actually willing to listen. So I'm going to fucking take this.
Yeah.
And I was fully vulnerable. I told him, you broke my heart into a million pieces. You made me doubt my spirituality, which you know is like my backbone. You fucking triggered me in ways that I didn't even know were possible. You showed me patterns of my mom and my dad all in one person. Like that wasn't in like a fuck you. Like it was not like a harp on him. It was just,
you were telling your side of it.
Exactly. And I think, you know, for him to be willing to hear it, like, how do I say this? If someone's willing to hear what they've done to you, I can respect it because it's almost a form of like
acceptance,
accountability too. Yeah. Like, all right, what did I do?
You're really listening to the effects that your actions had.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he just listened. And at one point he was like, no, I did the worst thing to you, the second worst thing to you. And the next worst thing would have been murder. And I was like, yes, like quite literally. Yes. And that goes beyond just the cheating, like everything.
Yeah.
Shit that like y'all don't even know about. Like
all of it
was like, and he took full accountability for that. And that was great. But where the conversation ended, once like I kind of like, we got to a point where like, again, I didn't want to hear the details of his day to day or anything. Like he started to talk about like his new job and I was like, that's cool.
It doesn't affect you anymore.
That's when I was just like, well, I'm going to leave this conversation saying, I do forgive you. And, you know, I think the universe put us together to show us like some really crazy patterns that we both needed to break and need to break still and will always need to work on. And all I can wish for you is that it was it was a catalyst for your healing too, as it was mine and still is mine. And I think all we could do is just like thank her for putting us in that situation. I think the last thing I said is don't do it again.
Huge though.
I told him, I was like, you know, and I told him this, and I feel like this was like healing on both ends. I said, you are really lovable. Like you are, like you are you're a
That's
good
the thing.
seed.
We
Like
kept saying that he has so much potential.
he's such like literally in my Q in my head by Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, like he's a beautiful soul. He has a crazy story. He's a good person. And I held his hands and was like, you will be loved. You will be loved so much.
Yeah.
But do better next time and don't fuck them up. And I said it like that because he only fucked it up because he didn't feel like he deserved it.
It was 100% self-sabotage.
100%. And I was like, bro, like, don't do that. Like, because the universe will keep testing you. So next time it feels really good, like, let it feel good. Like, if it's on your lap, you're deserving of it.
Yep. That's the thing, guys. Like, self-sabotage is the fucking devil. Shit doesn't just like come into your life just cause.
Yeah, you deserve it.
The universe works in crazy fucking ways. Everything happens for a reason. And if something is in your lap, it's there for a reason. So self-sabotage will do evil in your life if you are thinking that things are in your life for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
It's scary. Self-sabotage is.
It is scary. Yeah, it's scary for anybody. But then if you're also somebody who is deep in any type of addiction, you're already in like a cycle of shame, and that's just so deep. But I don't know if that can even just sit in the back of your subconscious, what Alex just said. Like, I hope it marinates in somebody and at least saves somebody next time they self-sabotage.
Yeah.
But yeah, that it felt healing for me to make good of my hurt. It felt healing for me to be like, to like finally look back. There were so many times in that conversation where like I was up in the corner looking down at us.
Yeah.
So many times. And it felt good to be like, my mind's going a million miles an hour, but like in good ways. I was able to tie something so ugly into a pretty bow.
Yeah.
Pretty's kind of sounds like brush it under the rug, but you know what I mean?
But
like,
into something that makes sense.
Yes. And like I was able to I saw the whole movie. I understood the whole cycle now.
Yeah.
Sitting across from him, I was like,
there's clarity.
This is why it happened, was for this conversation right now where we forgive each other, where we're sending each other off into the next decades of our lives with pure intention and honesty for the first time. Like that was the first time it was an honest conversation, that he wasn't hiding anything. Like,
yeah.
And that was just like when I'm up in the corner looking down at it, I was like, this is why we did this.
I've thought a bit about how a conversation like that would go with my ex. And I think, I mean, this happened 6 years ago. So I think we're just very much detached from the situation.
Totally.
I've done so much processing and healing on my own in the back end. But as you guys know, I mean, we did a whole episode on it. The situation that happened with his girlfriend at the time, the woman who I believe he cheated on me with, that's another thing. Like, I pictured this conversation 100 times, and I do have questions. And I would ask, you know, unlike you where you didn't want to know, like I want to know if he had cheated with her, nitty gritty details that I won't bore you guys with.
But that's so valid, because like I didn't mean to say like it just because I didn't have questions. That's not like, that was just for my own boundaries.
Exactly.
Like it's super valid to have fucking questions.
Yeah, and that's a good point, because I mean, all of that went down with my ex. We broke up and then we just like never talked again.
Yeah.
It wasn't like you and Tanner had multiple phone calls, conversations about the situation. Like you guys in some way did hash out what had happened over the phone. Like you guys still had contact. I literally moved to LA and didn't talk to this man again.
Yep.
And a few months later, after the breakup, was when his current girlfriend at the time was blowing up my phone. And like, we literally have a full episode on like that stalker story that we had talked about. But when that all happened, that's when I talked to him again for the first time.
Right. In such a different context too.
In such a crazy way. But I think that conversation gave me a lot of closure. Mm-hmm. We didn't talk about our relationship. We honestly didn't talk about anything besides his crazy fucking girlfriend. What was happening. But there was a bit of like clarity,
right,
that I got from that.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, like I said, I think to this day I have questions, but I don't think, I mean, I know none of the answers that he could possibly give me could ever change how I feel about the situation.
No.
Like I said, I've gained so much clarity on that relationship, the breakup in my own head. And, you know, I've talked about it endlessly with people in my life and with my best friends, but it's so tucked away in the past for me. And I'm so removed and moved on from it that you could walk in here and tell me that he got her pregnant and these crazy things, and I'd be like, oh shit,
like it's just another person of
exactly
your past.
Yeah.
No, that's ideal.
Yeah. So but in the, like, bringing it back to the whole closure conversation, I truly believe that through all of my own healing, I got closure from the situation, but that took so long.
Yeah.
It takes so long.
That's the thing. You are capable of moving on without closure. That's
giving yourself closure.
Yes. That's the most powerful closure you can get, right? You're self-sufficient in that way. So us changing our opinion about closure isn't saying like, hey, add this to your skincare routine now. It's just saying like, I don't know. It's so case by case.
And you even said this when you first had this conversation. You were like, I felt like it sped up the process.
Yeah.
Like it was like you're running to the finish line.
Yeah. Yes. Perfectly said. And perfectly, like, that's how it felt.
Yeah.
Too. It sped up the process a little bit, but like, yeah, I think it's still really important to do majority of that labor by yourself.
Yeah.
And like we keep fucking saying, and I cannot stress enough, just not expecting anything out of the conversation. That's what real closure is, because otherwise it's just another conversation that's going to be repeating cycles. And like a closure conversation should never be like convincing them of hearing you out or, demanding any type of reaction or answer. Like it purely should just be a soundboard that takes weight off your shoulders with zero, like even if they say nothing back, you should feel the same as if they said everything back.
Exactly.
Like, it just needs to be for you.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Just
closure just needs to be for you.
It's not for you guys as a unit.
No.
It's not for the other person. It is for you.
For you. And that's where accountability for yourself comes in too. Ow. And just, don't hurt Alex.
Oh my God, that hurts so bad. She's going crazy right now.
She is.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. It's just about holding yourself accountable and your intention of going into it. Cause I think we can very easily, like, I'm just thinking about breakups where I've been just like in shambles right after, and I could be like, I need to talk to them. And It's like, no, you just want to talk to them. So that's a big part of growth too, is knowing what feels good versus what is good.
And it takes
a lot of work.
Yeah, it takes a lot of work, and it takes a bit of, all self-awareness too. Cause if you're able to sit there and ask yourself these questions, what answers do I want? Why do I want them? What's my intention? Then if you're true to yourself, then you might be able to stop yourself from having a conversation with this person when it's not necessary.
Oh yeah. Cause like it can also hurt you. It can take make you take 10 steps back and everything.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. It's hard to be honest with yourself in those situations, especially when you're like thick in the hurt.
Yeah.
I feel like if I would have had that conversation any sooner, I would have been like, I love you.
Yep. And you know what? That now, like thinking back to it, how I said the conversation that I had with him when like the whole stalker situation went down, that's what it did for me.
Yes.
It didn't make me think any more about the situation. Like I didn't feel like I went 10 steps back.
It didn't like reopen any wounds or anything.
Right. Exactly.
It's a gamble because it can. And you just kind of have to weigh your pros and cons of if you're willing to have worst case scenario come from a closure conversation, which I did actually think about going into that conversation. I'm like, I'm already pretty fucking vulnerable right now. Like my mom's in the hospital. Like there was a part of me where I was like, I shouldn't do this. I even thought about leaving when he was coming over, but then there was something that also came over me that was like, no, maybe it's better that I'm doing this vulnerably. But that's also, that's a self-judgment thing. That's not me saying everybody should go into it with their heart wide open. That's just how I operate. But if you're someone, you know yourself best, and it create the boundaries that you need to protect yourself in that conversation.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's so, I'm thinking about both of our situations and how you're saying you have so many questions. I feel like it's because your situation was so gray.
Yeah.
Like mine was like a one.
Hey, I did this.
And it like, I mean, it was all in one night. I woke up, I called him. It was all, it was a one event.
Yeah.
Whereas yours was like this.
Crept in,
like you realized it when you looked back on the situation. You connected dots like over years.
And like, that's a good point because I mean, I still don't know if he even physically cheated on me.
Exactly.
But I walk in barely a week after a relationship and another woman has moved in.
Yeah.
Like and that's a good point. Like I have connected dots in my own head, right or wrong. So I've kind of framed this whole storyline of our breakup. And I will say, like, we didn't break up because of that. There were many other things.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so there's so many layers.
Exactly. There are a lot of layers and a lot of things that I've quote unquote assumed about the situation. But that's why, like, if I went in with all these questions, there's no answer that would affect me either here nor there.
You've had no choice but to write it the way your gut told you to write it.
Yep.
And why would you take his word over what your gut's telling you when he clearly proved that your gut was right all along?
Yeah.
Fucking crazy. I would have lit that shit up.
I walked in.
I would have peed everywhere.
Literally
like a cat.
Walked backwards out of the bedroom. I was like,
I think I would have gone a little cuckoo. Because you said it was 2 weeks after?
Barely a week.
See, it's too fresh. I would have been nasty.
Yeah.
There's a reason I was across the country.
Yeah.
Because if I was in the same zip code after what happened with Tanner, allegedly I would have slashed his tires.
My old roommate was there. And so I went back to say goodbye to my cats.
Yeah, right.
Because I was never going to see them again.
Right.
Say goodbye to my cats, pick up a couple things because I was literally moving to LA a week later. And my old roommate was there. And I walk in, I see her things, I walk out and I look at my friend Alyssa and she goes, yeah. I was like, her purse is in there. She was like, yeah. And like she had like piles of clothes and
what a trip.
Wild.
What a trip.
Wild.
That's the thing. Men just move on hella quick and then it hits them later in life.
Yeah.
You can only shove it down for so long, my guys and my girls. Mm-hmm. Anybody, like you can only shove shit down for so long. And then it's going to hit you when you're fucking married with kids and you look in the mirror and realize, oh my God.
I've never sat with this.
It doesn't just go away. Like you can drink, smoke, take drugs, avoid, distract all you want. But if it's not going to harbor in your head, it's going to harbor in your body and it's going to make you sick. And it's like, it's going to create illnesses within your body. That is like literally science at this point. Trauma does not just go away if you don't feel it.
And that's the thing. Like, I feel like moving on too quick is also seen a certain way because if you move on and you get a new relationship, people are like, oh, good, you're done. Yeah. You're past it. But filling that void with relationship after relationship, like that's the thing. I wasn't the first.
Right.
It goes back 2-3 girlfriends ahead of me.
Generations.
No, literally, like it's, I'm just I'm in the lineup of relationship to fill the void of the past relationship.
Yep.
So just, be alone.
Yeah. Be alone. And it's like, I know people do find love quickly after a relationship and like true love. I'm not saying that it's impossible.
Yeah.
And I'm not putting a time frame on how long you should be alone after a relationship either. Because I think that's so like situational and like literally every human is different. But as long as whether you're alone for 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, 20 years, as long as that time is rich in healing, that's the point we're trying to drive home is like your intention as to why you're moving on at the speed that you are. Is it because you're genuinely like you did the work and you're ready?
Yep.
Or is it to mask? That's kind of what we're saying. I'm not saying you need to be alone for 2 years. Like
and if you're
that's
honest,
not ours to say. It's just it's quality over quantity. Like what the time that you were alone, was it genuinely healing time or was it coping time?
Right. And if you're honest with yourself, you'll feel it. Like you'll know. I got on a dating app probably, I think it was like a month later, and I started a little situationship, and he wanted to get in a full-blown relationship, and I looked at Kristen and I was like, I'm not ready for this.
God, I remember that so vividly.
We were in an elevator.
Yes, I know.
And I broke it off, and that was that. And I was like, oh, okay, this is what it.
But you also needed that too. Like I think there's, and like, I will never judge you, and I hope you never judge yourself for getting on that dating app. Because
I think it did a lot for me.
Exactly. Yeah. You also need those situations. You need to kind of fuck up a little bit to where you're like, oh shit, I'm not ready. Because there's no way you would have known that.
I wouldn't have been tested.
Exactly.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm not judging anybody who hops onto that dating app right away, because I get it. It fucking feels good. Like have somebody compliment you. Like swiping is like a little ego boost. Like fuck yeah, by all means do what you need to do. But before you hop into something like really deep with the next person, a new person who has like a heart that you've never met or loved before, like if you're not going to respect yourself, like respect the person sitting across from you, and don't bring your fucking trash into their orbit and fuck them up for the next person.
Yep.
Like we can either all fuck each other up, or we can all love each other purely. And it's so selfish when unhealed people just like fuck up the next person for their own comfort and like toxic patterns.
It's like not caring.
That's what I said that's like what I meant with Tanner was like, you did it to me, and like we good, but like don't do it again. Like just don't do it again. It's not good for you. It's not good for them. Like wake up.
That's what I would say in this conversation with my ex.
Yes. And I like,
that's what I would fucking preach.
Yes. Like and that's how it felt. Like it was almost like I was talking to a friend who went through this. Like, and it had nothing to do with me. I was like, I think I even said that. I was like, take me out of the situation. I'm going to talk to you like the friend that I was before we ever even touched lips.
Right.
Bro,
what are you doing?
Don't, like, you're hella dumb.
Yes.
Like, don't do that.
Crazy. I wish I could talk to the 7 next girlfriends that my ex has had.
She's not over exaggerating. That is the accurate digit. So yeah, I do feel like this is one of those episodes where I kind of blacked out and I feel like I talked in circles. I hope
I don't think so. This
resonated.
Was good.
I don't know. That was kind of just brain vomit for me, but it's relevant to this new chapter, this new decade that I'm walking into, and it's something that I feel like is definitely worth mentioning. Definitely a shared experience. I wish there was like a way we could have formatted this episode to be like, do this.
But that's just not how closure works.
It's just not how it works. And I at least hope sharing my experience, Alex sharing her experience, can resonate with some of you. And yeah, I don't know. Sometimes when I purely talk experience, I'm like, oh, I feel like this is too niche, right? Like it's only mine. But I mean,
time and time again, you guys have proved that what we're going through a lot of the times you have or are going through.
Yes. As one of a kind as that breakup was, it's also very much a shared experience, sadly, but like also in a good way. I'm glad we can at least all lean on each other. So yeah, there's how we feel about closure. Keep you updated if it changes.
Right.
I don't know.
There's also something really cool when our opinion changes on this podcast.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I wish somebody can like clip together all the times they've been like, closure's bullshit.
Yeah.
I even said closure's bullshit. Like there was like, I think it was like 2 months ago. I was at brunch with my friend Rachel and we were talking about closure. And she was saying how like she got it and like she really needed it. And I literally looked at her. I was like, closure's bullshit, right? And now I'm like, never mind, girl. Like I fucking get it. And yeah, so that's all I have to say about that.
No new episode next week.
Oh yeah, we're taking a little break for traveling to Sedona, and then we'll be back with I'm sure some story times of Sedona, and then also some other kind of just
a huge
updates. Yeah, it doesn't really change anything for you guys this update, but it's something of our life that we wanted to update you guys on, and has to do with the podcast. So it's not, don't worry, we're not ending anything. Like, you're fine, but relax. But I don't know. It's worth mentioning.
Yeah,
is all we can say. Yeah, I'm sweaty. Look at my armpits.
When is your appointment?
I actually don't know if I'm gonna wax them.
Are you serious?
I don't know. I kind of like them. I kind of like growing out my armpit hair.
Go crazy.
It feels good.
Yeah, liberating.
A little bit. Yeah, but we'll see. I don't know.
Okay, guys, if you are watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Oh, have you checked if we hit 30K?
No, we haven't.
Oh.
Thanks to you guys, we haven't hit 30K. I literally said I wanted one thing for my birthday.
Wow. Okay, and if you guys are listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, rate us 5 stars and leave a review. Please. On Spotify, you can leave comments. So do that.
I also plan on vlogging all of Sedona, so my channel will have a cutie little vlog there. I've kind of been pushing out the vloggies, guys. So if you're not caught up, get caught up.
Run it.
So caught up, got me feeling it, caught up.
Hey.
I don't know what it is. It seems you got me twisted. I'm so caught up, and feeling it.
Caught up.
I'm losing control. This girl's got a hold on me.
Bye.